One guys in Matthew 22, reading from 1 to 14, looking at the parable of the wedding and the wedding with God who holds the wedding and his son Jesus all has an invitation to everyone to come to this wonderful wedding. It's come to God's kingdom, come to heaven. The invitation is open to everyone. In Revelation 22:17 says, the Spirit and the bride say, come. And let the one who hears come, and let the one who is thirsty, let the one who desires take the water of life without price. It's this free gift to come to this wonderful wedding, and yet people always find excuses to ignore that invitation, to refuse the invitation, and just to carry on with their own life. But let's start with verse 1 to Matthew 22. Jesus spoke to them again in parables, saying, the kingdom of heaven may be compared to a king who gave a wedding feast for his son. And that king is God, and the son is Jesus. And he sent out his slaves to call those who had been invited to the wedding feast, and they were unwilling to come. That's sad. As the gospel goes out, the church proclaims the gospel to all the world, and yet people are unwilling to have this free gift of this wonderful wedding. Verse 4, again he sent out other slaves, saying, and so there's a persistence of going, even though there's a rejection, we keep on going, and the slaves keep on going. The church keeps on calling those to accept this wonderful gift of salvation. Tell those who have been invited, behold, I've prepared my dinner. My oxen and my fatted livestock are all butchered, and everything is ready. Come to the wedding. So again, just that plea, come enjoy the wedding of feast of the Lamb. Verse 5, but they paid no attention and went their own way, one to his own farm, another to his own business. They paid no attention to this wonderful opportunity. They just carried on. The things of the world are just maybe blinding them. They're so busy with life, they're not even considering this amazing offer. Verse 6, and the rest seized his slaves and mistreated and killed them. And that's the sad thing, is that here's someone offering a wonderful gift and they get persecuted, and so we too will get persecuted. We too will be even killed in the end. If certain areas today, many Christians who are going out and telling the gospel are getting killed for his name's sake. But the king was enraged, and he sent his armies and destroyed those murderers and set their city on fire. And some commentators say this is he's obviously in the church, he's addressing the Pharisees still, that's the context, and eventually that whole temple, that old system of the religious system gets destroyed in AD 70, and maybe this is a reference to that. But those Pharisees and those leaders, the harshest judgment is on them. Verse 8, then he said to his slaves, the wedding is ready, and those who are invited were not worthy. Go therefore to the highways, the main highways, as many as you can find there, invite to the wedding feast. And so the call goes out not only to Jews, to Gentiles, not only to Gentiles, but to the poor, to the base. In Luke 14, there's another parable of an invitation to a feast, and it talks about going to the poor, going to those in the highways, the byways, those that are needy, those that are lost. And those slaves went out into the streets, verse 10, gathered together all they found, both evil and good. The wedding hall was filled with dinner guests. And so the invitation again to everyone. Jesus died on the cross to everyone. There's no one excluded. Rich, poor, Jew, Gentile, male, female, everyone is offered and can come to this wedding. But when the king came in to look over the dinner guests, he saw a man there who was not dressed in wedding clothes. And so there is only one way to be accepted into the wedding feast, and that's to be clothed with the righteousness of Christ. And to receive the righteousness of Christ, you need to come to him in faith and believe on him and be saved, and then you receive his righteousness, and then you can be accepted at the wedding. You can't just come in on your own terms. You can't come in through the back door. You've got to have a proper invitation and you've got to be properly accepted. And so these religious leaders, they had their traditions, they obeyed the law, they did everything they thought would made them worthy to be at the wedding, but they were not worthy, and they had no invitation. Verse 12, and he said to him, friend, how did you come in here without wedding clothes? And the man was speechless. He couldn't answer. And so everyone's going to stand before that door one day at the wedding, and Jesus is going to say, why should I let you in? And so if we can't say we clothed with we have the clothes of righteousness of Christ, he's not going to enter us in. We can't say, I've got this, I've got that. And so let's not be the ones that are speechless. Verse 13, then the king said to the servants, bind him hand and foot, and throw him into the outer darkness, in the place where there'll be weeping and gnashing of teeth. For many are called, but few are chosen. The call is out to everyone, but only those that accept Christ are chosen, and only those that accept Christ are clothed in his righteousness. And the sad thing here is that there's not just a rejection. No, you're not allowed to enter, and you throw him outside the door. No, he's taken and he's thrown into hell itself, where there's weeping, gnashing of teeth. And so it's not a case of you're just going to be rejected and you won't make it to that wonderful wedding. No, you're going to be thrown into hell. So there's only one of two places you end up going, either to heaven or to hell, where there's that weeping and gnashing of teeth and absolute darkness.